Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to 4-Digit World Cup 2020. I'm your host, This One Guy, and we'll be bringing you today our second of our two Losers Bracket Round 6 matchups. Last night we saw the United States defeat China in a thrilling tiebreaker set that saw them go from a 5-2 lead to a 6-5 deficit before escaping just by the skin of their teeth on the tiebreaker. Today we'll be seeing South Korea versus Brazil matching up with one another for a chance to meet that same United States team in the losers bracket round 7, And that match, of course, guarantees them a spot in the top 4, but it also affords them a chance at making it into the top 3, getting to play grand finals weekend. So there will be a lot on the line here this morning as we get underway for South Korea versus Brazil. Players are in the lobby, everybody's ready to go. We're going to be getting into the first warm-up here, so we'll switch on over. As we introduce our rosters. Today's match, of course, brought to you by none other than me, myself, and I. We have no sponsors. Nobody's here. It's just me. So on the left-hand side of your screen is going to be Team South Korea. One of the surprises of this tournament this year, I think. A lot of relative unknowns on their roster came in through qualifiers only as the number 8 seed, but did advance into the winners semifinals with a shock upset over the United States, solidifying that spot in top 6 at worst. Their roster consisting of Captain Inan. He is joined by Suyong, Korkosaki, Korem, Flancel, Lee Yoon Hyuk, Ain, and Quickly Dai. This has been a South Korea roster that has relied, as with a lot of these teams, on 3 main carries. Inan, Kosaki, and Rem have been kind of the workhorses. We'll see if they can continue that after getting beat up kind of badly in the semifinals a couple weeks ago at the hands of Russia. This will be their first match in the losers bracket, potentially their only match in the losers bracket. They're going to be matching up against a Brazil team that I think has also looked very solid. Brazil eliminated from the winners bracket by that same Russian team, though they did take them to a tiebreaker. That was all the way back in the round of 16. So Brazil has had several matches in the losers bracket, defeating Germany, Indonesia, Poland, and Sweden, and looking pretty solid while doing it. Brazil captained by Dada, alongside Akane Hime, Defans, Desperi, Guilherme Bulos, Lucas Zubs, Kuyo, and X Kirito. Oh, I forgot, it's Tusk, not Lucas Zubs. I still haven't updated this. That is a roster that, contrary to the style of South Korea, has been one that has really used all the players. Everybody has their spot in that roster. Everybody has the maps that they're in for. Brazil has done a good job managing their roster. They've done a good job getting great performances out of their players. And they come into this one with, I think, a lot of confidence as a team that really expects to win this. I think they feel that they scale a little better than South Korea. Obviously, players from that team a little more vocal in the main OSU community, I suppose, than South Korea, so you really don't get much of a feel for the South Korean players and what they're thinking about going into this match. Language barrier, of course, playing a big role, I think, in that. A lot of the Brazilian players speak very good English, and the South Koreans, on average, just kind of don't. So you get a little more of a sense of their desire and their hopes for this match. They really want to make it at least in a top 3 setup, or top 4, excuse me. Try to set up that match with the United States, which I think would be a very close one as well. I think those are 2 teams that match up pretty well against one another. And with the United States somewhat underperforming last night against China, I think whichever team wins this match here today won't feel like the USA is unbeatable by any stretch of the imagination. I think, South Korea already beat them once, and Brazil, having seen that, will feel like they're in a good spot going into that matchup as well if they do end up making it through. But they do have to play this one first. You can never put the cart before the horse, and whichever team comes out of this one, I think, will feel good. But they are probably not feeling like 100% on either side about this matchup. I think both of these teams think they can win this match in all likelihood. As I said, Brazil probably coming in as something of the favorites, but it's a bit of a toss-up, really. You know, Brazil did not do amazingly well in qualifiers, only getting 12th, so they've been kind of playing as a lower seed in many of their matchups since that first round. But they've looked very good against a lot of teams. The 6-0 sweep of Poland, the 6-1 victory over Sweden. Brazil has definitely been putting their best foot forward. So it'll be interesting, I think, to see how this one goes, with South Korea having not quite as many matchups so far to judge by, and one of them being that pretty definitive loss to Russia. I mean, 6-2, and I don't know that I would even say it was that close. Russia was kind of just better, similar to how Hong Kong has been again most of their matchups. Russia and Hong Kong have just kind of been better. Hong Kong, of course, I just spilled my coffee on my desk, mother. Hong Kong, of course, eliminating Russia from the winners bracket 7-0 in the winners final. Really showed their poise and their posture and their skill cap. I think Hong Kong at this point has to be the odds-on favorite, because I don't know who can challenge them in the grand final, but there's no watch now, Jesus. I don't know who can challenge them in the grand final. With Russia already having lost 7-0, I can't imagine they have much confidence if they do get back to the grand final through the losers bracket final. But you know, the United States, if anything, tend to be a country with a lot of confidence. So if they can still feel okay mentally, which I think they do, despite having such a close matchup against China last night, if they can, you know, keep their mental strong, I think that can be a big asset. So find out about that one tomorrow. Into the second warm-up here, a little K-pop. I actually think Brazil picked this, though. Kind of funny. Yo, any other Blackpink stands in your area? Oh, Kanahime wants none of this. He's out of here. No more warm up for him. So, look at the previous matches on this pool. We've seen two maps banned both times. We saw Hard Rock 2 and Double Time 2 banned out by Russia. And then Double Time 2 banned out by China, Hard Rock 2 banned out by the United States. So we'll see if those maps continue to be avoided in this pool. Teams kind of able, I think, to pick and ban very selectively. You know, you want to make sure to get those bans right in this late round. I think China kind of inted by not banning either of the low AR picks against the United States and then proceeding to lose both of them very badly. But in this particular matchup, I don't know if there's like a particular skill set that one team just far outstrips the other on. think, you know, Brazil probably wants to avoid allowing Korem and Korkosaki to pop off like they have done in a few matches previously. So whatever maps they feel that those two are going to be the most likely to carry on, they'll probably look to ban out. South Korea, for their part, I gotta think they probably banned some speed type stuff. We could see the DT2 ban coming out from them. With the pool being pretty well-rounded and very difficult, there's a lot of opportunity for anyone. You know, you can pick and ban a lot of different skill sets in this particular pool. Whether you're into the aim, whether you're into tech, all awkward maps. A lot to be had here. We saw that last night in the USA versus China match, where you can really switch up the skill sets quite a bit. And if you find a skill set that works, you can kind of lean into it. You know, United States picked and won free mod 2 very easily, then they picked and won hidden 2 very easily. Kind of went into that CS5 AR8 feel. So we will see if they end up doing that type of thing. You know, if anybody has a strat like that in this one. One particular thing that they're just better at, but I think, like I said, both teams have really wide-ranging skill sets. They've got a lot of players that are good at a lot of things, so I don't know that we'll necessarily see anything quite that direct this. We're going to get into the rolls, though. We're going to see Dada rolling a 34. Find out what Enon rolls. Won't be too hard to beat that. And he rolls a 64. So that does mean South Korea will get their choice. First pick, second ban, or first ban, second pick. I think South Korea is a team that takes second ban, first pick, and they do. I wonder, it's almost like an English-speaking country thing to do first ban, second pick. Like the United States did that last night. But South Korea, of course, here going first pick option. So it does mean Brazil will have first ban, and they're going to ban out doubling time numeral 4th. That is Fallen Angels, Atera's Insane. Kind of 240 BPM streamy 10.3 pick. Pretty tricky one. I'm a little surprised to see Brazil banning that out. I feel like they're typically pretty good at speed, but I guess they're okay with getting rid of that one, giving themselves fewer DT options. Curious to see what they end up actually going into, if they're maybe not going to be trying to pick DT stuff in the... We'll go into the first ban from South Korea. Hard to predict, I think, what these picks and bans are going to be here. Just gonna let the players speak for themselves a little bit on these, because I genuinely don't know what to think they'll be. And it is free mod 3. It is free mod 3 as the first ban from South Korea. That is Shinku no Merankori, which is not a map that I even think we've seen all that much, to be honest. It didn't get played last night. I don't know that it was played in Russia versus Hong Kong either. That's the higher BPM, more normal map stats free mod. It's so hard to predict, I feel like, what South Korea's bans are going to be. I never have a great feel. I haven't had a great feel in any of their matches that we've seen. Gonna be Nomad 5, the second ban here from Brazil, so they are going to actually ban out a couple of the more speedy maps. So I guess I misjudged this. Mat's Core, although this one is more, it's a higher BPM aim map more than anything else. 234 BPM, air 9.9, because why make it AR 10 when you can make it AR 9.9. And DT3, the ban from South Korea, to round things out. So that was a little more expected. But on the bounce, I feel like is more of a personal ban because I don't think anybody's really all that good at that map. It's just incredibly difficult. Very strange linear aim finger control patterns at 225 BPM in a really old-fashioned style that goes all the way back to 2010. I can see banning it because you just don't want to have to play it. I don't know that I would expect that to be a ban targeted at Brazil in particular, because like I said, I really don't know that anyone is like that great at that map. I mean, it's so hard to be consistent on that. You know, there's a very limited number of people in the game who are good at that skill set, and I don't know that many of them are in this tournament. But be that as it may, it was the second ban, so ban recap here. Brazil banning out Fallen Angel DT4 and Matt's Core Nomad 5. South Korea banning out Shinku no Mirakori DT, or Fremod 3 and On the Mounts DT3. And then going right into Zendaimimon as their first pick. So this is our smaller circle free mod. It's CS3. 6.2 stars, 6.3 stars, 6.6 stars, Nomad and Hard Rock respectively. This is one that requires some alt, a little bit of aim, some kind of awkward patterns. Those triangles can be really tricky. And just making sure you don't miss on kind of the spaced patterns, especially for a player with Hard Rock. Can be pretty tricky. So this is a tough little map to start the match out on. It's relatively middling in length, 2 minutes and 48 seconds long, so not too long, not too short. But this is kind of an interesting starting point. It's not a straightforward sort of map. It's a lower BPM and somewhat awkward rhythms and kind of strange patterns that are a little bit tricky to aim, especially if you're not super ready for that sort of thing. Brazil is really, really good still, and South Korea might be a little concerned about skill cap. Obviously, Enon having been a former OWC player means he's not too likely to skill cap. But some of the others on that roster, you know, you just can't say for sure what their late round ability is going to be like. You get into these 7-star, 6 and to 7-star pools, things start to get pretty difficult, especially for people who aren't, you know, full-time tournament players. A lot of these South Koreans, not ones that we see around the community tournament scene as much, so we'll get to see how they perform. And Brazil is going to get the early Nomad 2 pick in. That is Lemuria. It's the Isolation Singularity difficulty. We've seen this one around the tournament scene a lot in the last year since it first showed up. I think it would probably take 2 hands to count the number of tournaments this has been in since it was originally submitted in August 2018, ranked at the beginning of 2019. It's been kind of all over the place since then. We've seen it plenty. And it is the first pick from Brazil. So if they look as strong on their own first pick as they looked on South Korea's first pick, this could get ugly in a hurry. And again, a player not loading in, so refresh client here. Okay. It's going to be Pain, Lee Yoon-hyuk, Quickly Die, and Korkosaki for South Korea. Ex-Kirito, Kanehime, Tusk, and Desperi for Brazil. Early break from Ex-Kirito, but lots of map to go. This one a little over 2 minutes long and very note heavy once you get through the slower intro portion. And it combines, you know, it is obviously a Nomad 2 pick. That is the slot that it's always picked in, but it does have some aim and finger control to it. You've got some 1/6 patterns. You've got some crazy spacing, some very difficult sections in this map. It's going to test the players in a few different ways. It looks like Ex-Kirito did not break early on, his combo looking fine, so all 8 players managing the FCs through the intro just peachy keen. A little bit of an accuracy advantage to Brazil, but not by a big margin. It's going to come down to breaks rather than accuracy because nobody seems to FC this map in the tournaments. It does not happen often. That last section is so hard. There's going to be the breaks coming in now. Quickly Die, followed by Ex-Kirito and Tusk. So that is 3 FCs to 2 now. South Korea in the lead. They'll take the score gap back as long as they can continue to hold on, and they do. Oh my goodness, there go Kanehime and Desperi as well. Is this going to be a break point right back? It may well be. Pain with the break for South Korea. Lee Yoon-hyuk breaking immediately after. Korkosaki still holding on, and Quickly Die with a decent combo. Not anymore. His combo is gone, so it's down to Korkosaki, but there is no combo on Brazil really at all. However, there is still over a quarter of the map to play. There is some time, and there goes Korkosaki, so combo advantage now in favor of Brazil, but it's really just Ex-Kirito, the only one with any sort of combo on that side, and he's actually almost being matched by Pain, which might be enough to keep this one in the lead for South Korea. And there goes Ex-Kirito as well. This one is a bit of a con fiesta here in the last few hundred combo, but it's going to go to South Korea by a couple 100,000 points, it looks like, unless they really have trouble at this ending. And both teams bungling their first pick quite poorly. South Korea taking the break point right back, tying it up 1-1. That was just not a good look for Brazil. Everybody breaking before the part where you're kind of quote-unquote supposed to break. And the 544k coming in for Pain, a very solid score. Best inning lobby by 100,000 points. No, excuse me, 50,000 points. Gonna get the early tie, 1-1 here. I don't know about the first pick. I feel like South Korea has been a team that's pretty decent at that type of map. Korkosaki with the 450k, 860 combo. I don't really know what to make of that. 17 misses B rank, but or 50k anyway. That's an interesting scoreline there from him. I guess it worked out. Tusk with the 1 miss. If he FCs instead of 1 missing, Brazil probably does win that because he was down at 448k. Not a great showing from Brazil, but that's probably like the worst score that they would expect of themselves on that map, so it's very unlucky to have that kind of performance where they did just now. so tied up 1-1. We'll go into the second pick from South Korea. And we're gonna stay in the Nomad pool. We're gonna go mechanics mode, and this is the type of thing that I kind of expected South Korea to lean into. Probably gonna get Korkosaki Korem here. It is the aim map. It is the Nomad 1. Sky Flame, meaning big old jumps. Relatively comfy, but big old jumps. And, you know, there's a few ways you can play this map. You can miss all over the place, just randomly kind of one-off, but a bunch of times. That happened to China last night. Or you can maybe get a big combo and then kind of fall apart at the end. That was the plight of Ches Bananas from the USA, who had a huge combo, then kind of died at the end, but he still ended up top scoring it and helping the United States win it. You know, you can always go somewhere in the middle. These super high star rating Nomad 1s always feel like kind of a toss-up. It's so hard to be consistent for a lot of people on 7-star aim, you know, unless you're one of those top aim players in the game. This is the sort of thing that is just rough to be consistent on. Nomad 1 picks, I think, are best expressed just simply with the term volatile, because it's there's only one skill set required, and, you know, it's just aim. So if you slightly misaim one note in one pattern while you broke and somebody else hit, and now your score is 500k and their score is 700k, and you just lose. We'll find out what happens here. We're gonna get underway. Is going to be Inan, Korem, Korkosaki, quickly die for South Korea. X-Kirito, Akanehime, Tusk, and Defense for Brazil. So these are going to be your aim rosters for these squads. We'll see if we get a third straight break point, or if perhaps we finally, in the third pick, get a team winning their own map. This is one of those aim maps that really just doesn't let up. There's a lot of sections where you can miss aim. Diff spikes coming in, big old triangle-y jumps, you know, that Skyflame style. You know, we see him mapping some very high star rating Nomad 1s, and this is really an archetypal Skyflame Nomad 1 that we're getting into here. Got the break at the very beginning from Inan, but that is so early. This one's 4 minutes long. It's not going to affect anything in the long run. This is really just a matter of how well can you fling your cursor around at various corners of your tablet, or how well can you fling your mouse around your desk, because there are some big jumps required in this one. We'll go into the first Ki. This is where we saw China kind of run it down in the first and second Kis both against the United States. That was what got the United States a big lead in this pick. Couple breaks coming in. Defans and Korkosaki going to basically match each other's breaks. And there goes a Kanehime as well. No more misses for South Korea, so they will take the lead back here in both combo and shortly in score. Never mind, quickly die with the break. Defans trades with him, but it's X-Kirito and Tusk against Korem and Inan. Small advantage, and it's going to be in favor of Brazil with those 2 FCs versus 1 FC and a decent combo. South Korea continuing to struggle a bit with accuracy, though. 95% on 3 members. Brazil has 98% on 2 of theirs, and those are the 2 FCs, so that's going to be the most important players to have good AC on as well. This is going to be very close still. Korkosaki with another break. Inan breaks. That's one of those 2 big combos gone. Let's see how long Brazil can hold. Not let long, apparently. X-Kirito breaking as well as Kanehime. But it's Tusk versus Korem, and Korem is the one to blink, and Korkosaki and Quickly Die both breaking on the aim pattern. So Tusk now uncontested, the only player with any semblance of combo. Defans at 250, the next best in the entire match. That's going to be great for Brazil. There goes Tusk as well, but he did manage to give them at least a little bit of a lead by holding that combo longer than anyone else. And now it's going to be on Defans with 320 combo to try and keep the flag flying. This is just a tough map. You can tell. People, like we said, you expect a lot of misses in these PIs on those big jump sections. And getting into this kind of guitar solo break. Some more big jumps. You're going to see a break from Enon. Nobody else has missed in this section as of yet, except for Quickly Die just there. And let's see if Brazil can escape this section, and they do. So we're going to come into just the last chorus. Core Rem still holding on the S rank, but has suffered a few slider breaks, so not doing as well as he otherwise could. Core Rem and Core Kosaki, the typical duo carry when they're in on the same map together, it seems like. They're the two holding any sort of combo for South Korea. It's a 230,000 point lead. And all four members of Brazil holding pretty solid combos, so they should be good to keep this lead up through this last section of the map. Kirito trading a break with Enon, Tusk following up shortly thereafter. 700 almost the combo for Defons, and over 500 for Akanehime. They're gonna feel okay. Just the ending to come. And Quickly Die breaking in the ending just for good measure here. Followed up by Korkisaki on a trade with Akanehime. Defons, 800 combo. He's gonna bring this one home for Brazil. It is going to be a 2-1 lead for them, and this is going to be 3 straight break points. Just under 2 million, the final score there for Brazil. Not the greatest of score for either team, but you know, three players at or above 510,000 points. Not a terrible result for Brazil. Unfortunately, Korkosaki and Enon both finishing below 400k, not doing the best there. One miss only for Korem, but several slider breaks, so that score is not quite as good as it would look if it were just a one break. Defons, meanwhile, well as Tusk and Kirito. Honestly, all three of them just doing quite well. Akanehime 4 misses, lowest score on their team, but he was still better than 3 of the 4 scores from South Korea. And that is going to be another break point. So that does mean Brazil with a 2-1 lead, their own pick to come. We'll try to see if they can consolidate it this time around. After dropping their first pick, which I think really was a bit of a mispick. Enon feeling a little bit unhappy with his performance on that map. He didn't even bottom score for his team, but he didn't do great, so I don't know. That map's just like, you know, it's the Nomad 1. That's just the Nomad 1 aesthetic where you just miss on stuff and it feels bad. I don't know. Missing on maps where the only skill required is aim, I guess, is just rough. And Dada picking his own map. Let's go. Hard Rock 2, Gengai Ozo Foon, Dada's another. I hope you're ready for some finger control, because we're about to get some finger control. I don't know if Dada's picking his own map because he wants to, or if he's picking his own map because he feels like he should. He'll say it's against his better judgment, so maybe a questionable pick here for Brazil, but switching up the skill set, going from aim to finger control, small circles, high approach rate, 5.85 the circle size on this one, so not quite the smallest circle size pick since we do have a 6.5 in here, but relatively little. We have not seen this one because it was banned out in both previous semi-final or finals map pool matches. That's the phrasing I wanted to use. Hard Rock 2, DT2, the two bans in the previous 2 matches, both left open in this one, in fact, so we might get to see both after not getting to see them at all previously. It looks like Dada is going to be in for his own map, despite thinking it's shit. I don't know how I feel about this pick necessarily. I mean, if you're Brazil, you just won an aim map pretty convincingly, and you're going something that's like the antithesis of an aim map. I feel like it may have been smarter to go something like Tenohira de Odoru or even Mold. It's because aim has like the two maps that they've won have been more predicated around aim, and the map that they lost was not an aim map. So I'm not really sure how I feel about this one necessarily, but we're going to get to find out here as we go into it. It's going to be Korokosaki, Flancel, Quickly Die, and Pain for South Korea. It's going to be Desperi, Dada, Tusk, and Defense for Brazil. And for a 3-1 lead here on their own pick. I am prepared to see some pretty low accuracy, but some pretty high combo, because that's what this map is really all about. Oh, some interesting hit sounding. Maybe it's just this skin. It sound weird, and I'm not sure. 3 early breaks for South Korea already. Only Defon's missing in the first couple hundred combo here for Brazil. Make that Desperi as well. But Flancel, Pain, Quickly Die, all struggling a bit. Gonna be combo game here. Korokosaki playing the combo game, 86%, 85% accuracy. Tusk and Dada doing a little better with their accuracy. There goes Kosaki though. Yeah, this one could get kind of ugly in all honesty. This is a map that it's so easy to just break on anywhere, because it requires you to have that fine cursor control as well as really good finger control. And the only combo left is Tusk. 430 combo, and he's gone as well. So, yeah, this is going to be kind of just an int fest. But Flancel, Korokosaki, and Quickly Die all reestablishing some combos, so they're going to try to chip away at this lead. Brazil with an early over 110,000 point lead. There's no real combo gamers in this matchup, I don't feel like. I mean, I guess Flancel is playing that role currently, 440 combo. There it goes. There's no, like, Yokespie in this lobby who would just hit everything in this and FC it with, like, 82% accuracy, you know? But Defons and Tusk now with very solid combo for Brazil. Nothing to really match them for South Korea other than Korokosaki. See what kind of lead Brazil can build up. Looks like about 300, just under 300,000 points so far. This is, like, I understand the pick on this if you feel like you can just out-combo game your opponents, because it's a similar one, like, on the bounce, where it's just really hard to be consistent on. And you're seeing that here with Korokosaki, the only combo of any real note on South Korea, Defons and Tusk. So Defons did not break. That was client lag on those buzz sliders. You see that happening a fair amount. All 4 members of Brazil building up some combo. Now they're going to hold on to this lead. And we're going to just have the last quarter of the map to go. I think the 400k lead is probably safe at this point. Looking like a pretty good pick here from Brazil. And I think this might just be kind of skill cap moments. Like, they just are better at comboing, it seems like. Well, there goes Tusk as well. There's a decent amount of combo in South Korea. I just don't know that there's enough time. Oh boy, there goes Defons as well. Fortunately for Brazil, they've got a 400,000 point lead still. And we get back into some very tricky patterns here near the end that are going to find some breaks for sure. There goes Kosaki, there goes Rem. Flancel and Quickly Die putting together some decent combo here at the end, but I just don't think it's going to matter for them because Brazil had such a large advantage going into this section of the map. Quickly Die, the only one left now. He's going to top score potentially for their team if he can hold on. There it is. The lead goes over to him. But that's going to do it for the map. That's going to be Brazil winning this one by 500k. Backed by a couple of very strong performances. Defons and Tusk looking pretty solid on that map compared to the opponents. I mean, 528k, 484k, nothing to scoff at. 350k, of course, the best score there for South Korea. Korokosaki down at 181k, bottom score in the lobby. Not a great time was had. 80% accuracy. Good. That one's a questionable map, but that's a good showing from both Defons and from Tusk on the Brazil side. And they do now consolidate the break point, so that's going to be the 3-1 lead. And considering how poor South Korea looked on their first 2 picks, this could go pear-shaped for them in a hurry. We're going to go into the 3rd pick now from South Korea. I don't know what you go after losing the maps that they lost. I think you have to go to a different skill set because aim was just not it. Zendaimimon and 7 Doors both requiring some aim. Meanwhile, you know, they looked okay, but not amazing. They did look good on the stream map on Lemuria, but I don't know if there's really another option for them like that. You know, maybe if they wanted to go to DT pool, but with the 2 DT bans, I don't know. It's going to be Nomad 4 instead, so we're going to get the very long alt pick here. This one's 4 minutes long, and it's just really consistent, kind of tricky, spaced alt patterns for a very long map with a lot of combo. Going to be some nice consistency alt for you alt to view for your viewing pleasure. I don't know. I would. This is the type of map that's awful to commentate. I'm sorry, but it's 4 minutes long, and like, if last night is anything to go by, it could literally be over. Not even halfway through. It's just a thing that happens. This map just ends up like ending in the second Ki. Oh, we got the wrong map bug. We got the wrong map bug. Ladies and gentlemen, at Dio's Dong, clip this. We have the wrong map bug. Actually, he's commentating Corsace right now, so he can't. But there's the wrong map bug. Xcurito loading in on Matt's core for some reason. But it's fixed now. So we're going to be underway. It's going to be Korem, Flancel, Korkusaki, Pain. Korem and Korkusaki flipping over their slots. Against Xcurito, Dada, Tusk, and Defons. South Korea has lost their first 2 picks. Brazil looking for another break point, trying to bust this one wide open. If they get another break here, it's 4-1, and things just look really grim for South Korea, so I think the Korean roster really wants this pick. I don't know how I feel about it necessarily. Alt is always one of those skill sets that's kind of hard to judge. But the first Ki is going to tell us a lot, I think, because last night we saw some players really just full inting this in this first Ki section. 8-10 misses possible, and if you just don't play the patterns quite properly on some of these spaced quad things, and that's exactly what's happening to Defons here. Defons is encountering the chillier pair conundrum at this point in time. And it's the early lead for South Korea, but the break comes in from Pain to level things out. 3 FCs to 3. Accuracy, as always, in favor of Brazil. Not by a huge margin, but 98% for Kosaki, 97% for Pain. Meanwhile, Tusk doing his thing. See how long he can keep that up. Oh, and there's a break from Flancel as well as Pain again. So it is going to be lead Brazil. Defon's building some combo back up to support his teammates, who are all still on the FCs. Gonna go into the second Ki. And if you see some combo resets in this section, the map can literally be over as we reach about the halfway point. Defon's breaking again. That's okay. Not the end of the world for Brazil. They've still got a lot of other FCs, but that is going to be important. Kirito and Dada both breaking. So there's now Tusk trying to basically 1v2 Core Rem and Core Kosaki. This looked really good for Brazil, and now it just suddenly does not look good for Brazil. As long as Rem and Kosaki continue to hold, this is going to be a very one-sided affair for South Korea. But there goes Rem. It's Kosaki versus Tusk. Very close overall. Combo advantage still somewhat in favor of South Korea because Flancel and Pain both have some decent combo built up. But any breaks from South Korea and Brazil is poised to jump out to another large lead. It is still about 50,000 points, just under that margin. And you do have this little break here, so players will see the score. They'll know where they're at. And Tusk will know how important it is that he maintains his combo, so hopefully the nerves don't get to him. Same for Core Kosaki. Luckily, this section actually a little bit easier. It's just some sliders that you have to aim. You get to build some combo back up, despite that break there from Dada. Oh, Dada has control, but Core Kosaki breaks. That is the FC gone from South Korea, but Tusk follows him up immediately thereafter. It is now Flancel with the 500 combo as well as Pain. Defans with a 400 combo, X-Kirito a bit behind him. This is combo advantage South Korea. And the score gap is only 70,000 points. This could be a very interesting last ki here. This turning a little differently than the times we've seen this played before, where it was very one-sided affair. South Korea is absolutely still in this one, depending on what happens here near the ending. Brazil holding on, though, in this easier section, just into the last ki. This is for all the marbles on this pick now. Any break could just end the map instantly, so this is so important to hold through here. And it's Defans that breaks. It's Defans that breaks. That gives South Korea the advantage coming into the ending. Core Rem breaks, but it's all on Flancel and Pain. If they can keep this combo up, they can bring this back in the last seconds. I believe there might just be enough time, but it's going to be very, very close. Core Rem finding the break. Flancel and Pain with 900 plus combo. No, there goes Pain. That is the combo gone for South Korea. They will not be able to bring this one back at the ending, and Brazil is going to take another break point. That is 3 picks in a row Brazil have won on South Korea's selections. And it is going to be a 4-1 lead. Double break point advantage for Brazil. Guys, you know what scoreline we're en route to, right? You know what scoreline we're heading toward if this keeps up. Everybody's aware, right? I don't need to say it. I don't think I need to say it. Brazil with the 4-1 lead. S ranks from X-Kirito and Tusk. Very solid accuracy, very good stuff there from Brazil. Accuracy actually played a pretty big role in that one. I mean, the score difference was only 55,000 points at the end, and Core Rem 96%, Pain 96%, Core Kosaki 97%. So just having a little better accuracy for South Korea, they could have won that. Brazil getting carried by the fact that X-Kirito had 99.25, Tusk had 99.52, and Dada and Defans both at 98.5 or better. So Brazil absolutely in the driver's seat now. 4-1, double break point, their own pick to come. And we'll get to see their next pick, because it's going to be an important one. They get a 5-1 lead here. You're about ready to call this one. And Brazil are going to go to the hidden pool for the first time. We're going to open up hidden with Acid Burst, hidden number 3. This is honestly a very tough map. It has its sections that are a little easy to combo. You've got a lot of slider aim and some bursts to contend with that are a little spaced out, plus of course the hidden reading. The last section of this map, of course, the ending diff spike is just a big slap in the face. Like, it's so much harder than the rest. So whoever is in the lead coming into kind of the last couple hundred combo of this, maybe see some roster switches here a little bit. You come into kind of a hidden tech map, a little bit of a different skill set. You're going to get Suyong coming in for South Korea for the first time. They will be joining Inan, Korkosaki, and Core Rem. Brazil, for their part, taking kind of a similar roster. They've been playing some different players, but it's been a lot of X-Kirito, Tusk, Desperi, Dada joining in for this pick. A very strong hidden roster, I think, for Team Brazil. And this is their third pick, looking for a 5-1 lead on map number 6 of this match, which would be just controlling advantage. You know, 5-1 is so huge. Did see some early struggles from multiple players. Suyong missing, Tusk missing, as well as Korkosaki at the very beginning. Brazil currently with the advantage. They do have 3 FCs against just under 3 FCs, I guess you could say. As always, Brazil with the accuracy lead. Tusk down at 96%, but 94 for Enon, 96 for Korkosaki, 97 Suyong. Desperi finds a break, but traded back by Suyong and Enon. This is not a great place to break. Right before halfway through. Desperi missing again, but Dada Kirito still holding on. Korem breaking as well. The only combo now left for South Korea is on Korkosaki. That's really nice for Brazil. They have a little bit of kind of freer combo here at this section about halfway through, and they're going to expand out their lead. This is going to be a sizable advantage for Brazil going into the second half of the map. Those combo leads are massive. Kirito and Desperi both do break, but Korem trades. So it is Dada and Tusk with the big combos. Dada still in the FC, Tusk with the early breaks. Taking on Korkosaki still with the FC as well, or just behind FC. Suyong and Enon both building up some combos. Could get kind of interesting here. Oh my god, never mind. That's a 4-way combo reset for South Korea. They are gone. Desperi, Tusk both breaking, but it doesn't even matter now. This ending is so hard. As I said, whoever comes into this in the lead is just going to win it, and Brazil is showing exactly that. Meanwhile, Dada, though, he's actually just going to casually be FCing. What a performance. I know he struggles with some confidence here and there. It feels like he doesn't play at his best in late round pools. But this is going to go a long way to alleviating that. He does come in with the FC. Very impressive stuff from Dada, carrying Brazil to the victory on that one by a considerable margin, 800,000 points in the favor of Brazil. 799K. Great stuff from Dada there. Very solid FC, and good, very, very solid combos from his teammates as well. Kirito, Tusk backing him up quite well with over 500K apiece. Korkosaki once again top scoring for South Korea, 571K, but the others just not able to hang. Nobody even over 350K of the other 3. Meanwhile, Brazil's worst score just under 3. So really, really big score from Dada there. That was huge. They would have almost 2v4'd. He and Kirito almost 2v4'd. Really good stuff from Dada. That's gotta feel good for him, and it's gotta feel good for Brazil because they now do have the 5-1 lead. Big advantage in this match. South Korea pick. Gonna try to stay alive in this match. 5-1 down, 2 points away from being eliminated. They're gonna make the first DT selection of this match, and it is going to be double time. Number 2. It'll be the first time we've seen Izayoi Sakura in this round. It was banned out in the first 2 matches, as I mentioned. Air 10.07 Furica map on the Gust set. Highest BPM of the DTs, 262 BPM, a very speedy one. Who are your fast players? Because they're going to be the ones that need to come in. believe we are set to go here. And going to map number 7. 5-1 lead for Brazil. South Korea picking double time number 2, opening up the TD pool for the first time in this match to try to see if it'll change their fortune a little bit. They have not won a pick of their own as of yet. It's going to be Suyang, Kosaki, Flansel, Pain against X-Kirito, Kyo coming in for the first time, I believe, for Brazil. Tusk and Desperi. Our usual nice DT lag. We'll see how it goes here. Couple early breaks. South Korea, Suyang, and Pain missing, as well as Desperi on the Brazilian side. A little bit of a lead for Brazil early on, but just getting into the map, so we'll see. It's just 2 minutes long, though. Pretty quick one. And there's a break from Kyo as well. So Kirito and Tusk gonna fly the flag for Brazil, carry the torch. Once again, South Korea, just AK is not their strong suit. Pain at 90%, as well as Flansel at 91, and Kosaki down at 95. Brazil can just win off of accuracy. Like, it's so sad to see, but it's what's happening. They're just out-acking their opponents by such a vast margin. Breaks from Suyang come in, as well as Pain. Kosaki and Flansel still holding on. That is what's keeping South Korea kind of in touch in this one. Otherwise, this would be very ugly in a hurry. But man, picking this into Brazil is scary. Kyo and then Tusk do find a couple breaks, but Kirito and Desperi still going to hold off Kosaki and Flansel, especially with Pain and Suyang struggling a little bit. And 2/3 of the way through, Brazil with a 213,000 point lead. It's all on Desperi and X-Kirito, with Kosaki and Flansel both still holding on to FCs. Fortunately for Brazil, their accuracy is horrible. Desperi breaks. Double FC might come in handy here for South Korea. Kyo breaking as well. There goes Suyang once again. I almost think that the low accuracy from South Korea might be enough that Brazil can hold on in this one. Oh, but there goes X-Kirito. It's not going to happen anymore. Kosaki and Flansel are going to combo game them at this rate. Flansel still holding on to his FC. This is going to come down to the absolute last seconds. I don't know if Flansel's going to get enough score. I think he will, though. It's going to flip over. No, Suyang breaks and loses some score. No, it is going to be enough for South Korea. Oh, my God. Brazil gets combo gamed. An 86% AC FC with a lower score than X-Kirito carries South Korea. Peppy. Why does score V2 still reward combo this much? South Korea never should have won that point. I'm just gonna say it. There is no world where South Korea deserved to win that point. 88%, 85%, 86%. This game is so stupid. The combo game comes out from South Korea and they finally win a pick of their own. It is 5-2 now, Brazil, with their next pick to come. Oh my God, dude. That was just depressing to witness. I don't even know what to say about that. Oh my God. That just looks so sad. 86, 88. X-Kirito with the 97. Man, if he hadn't slider broken, Brazil wins that by like 200k. Oh yeah, that's so sad. I mean, Kyo actually did end up bottom scoring the entire lobby. 210k for him, not a good showing. But, man, oh man. That was just a combo game moment. Brazil is going to come in for Hidden 2. Low AR hidden moments. Is Death Moon the second. We did see this last night. The USA looked really good on it. It was leftovers with the top score. Like, neither of these teams really like super notable as low AR hidden teams, but I think Brazil's gonna feel pretty okay about this after winning Acid Burst so handily. Even if Dada hadn't FC'd, they still would have won Acid Burst by a fair margin, like just assuming he gets like 600-700k or something on it. They still win it by 400,000 or so. I think Brazil gonna feel okay about the hit. Still to load in. We're gonna go into it. It's gonna be Suyang, Kosaki, Quickly Die, and Pain against X, Kirito, Akane, Tusk, and Dada. This one, not a super long map, 2 minutes 52 seconds, so it's kind of that, again, that middle length range. And once again, South Korea's accuracy suffering early on. I don't know what it is. They're just, apparently, this is just a combo game team. I don't know if I didn't notice that in their previous matches or what, but that is just completely what they're relying on, is nothing other than combo, because their accuracy is never very good. I'm worried about X Kirito. His cursor looks really shaky. Somehow he's still hitting stuff, so I guess it's fine. I don't even want to watch X Kirito. His cursor is just giving me, like, actual pain. Quickly Die has broken a couple times for South Korea, so Brazil with the early lead in both combo and big accuracy lead, 92%, 93%, 90%, 94%. I mean, it's just not looking good for South Korea on the accuracy front. Korkosaki finally breaks. He was the last FC left. Oh boy, this could get really ugly. Like, this could get really ugly. South Korea is struggling on this pick. Brazil's still all the combos intact, and they're just gonna rocket out to a huge lead if they can keep up a little longer here. Kanehime and Tusk do both break, but Kirito and Dada still on top of things. Just 160 combos on Kosaki and Suyang. Not a lot going for them. I don't know how X Kirito hits notes with his cursor looking like that. It's like watching Lee Jung-hyun from the USA. That is, ugh, my eyes. It hurts. It's scary. I mean, even Tusk both finding a couple breaks as well as Dada. So, fortunately for Brazil, they have an 800,000 point lead, and X Kirito is still FCing. But combo advantage overall, kind of in favor of South Korea now. I just don't think it matters, because they're probably going to find a couple breaks in this next section here for South Korea. But they don't. And X Kirito breaks as well. Did Brazil run it down hard enough for South Korea to have a chance, or is it just too late? I think it's just too late. Brazil actually kind of just forgot how to play in the second half of this map, and South Korea is remembering how to play, and like, it just isn't going to matter because they had an 800,000 point lead already. There goes Suyang and Pain at the ending, so that is, well, it could have been about a 1,000,000 point win, and instead it's about a 600,000 point win, but Brazil's comfy with it either way, and they take a 6-2 lead. That is match points, and quite a few of them for the Brazilian side. One point away from the finish line are Team Brazil. South Korea 1 point away from elimination. It's going to be a DT pick here again. Dada ZTS Law? Is it Dada ZTS Law? I think it's Dada ZTS Law. So, it's a ZTS DT map, which means it's gonna have triplets and it's gonna have streams. It's gonna be like 215, 225, excuse me, BPM. And I think the ref didn't actually put on DT. I think they forgot the exclamation mark. So we are waiting for that to get fixed. No, real cute, it was not added. You missed the exclamation mark. Typed MP mods DTNF without an exclamation mark. You don't get DT, oddly enough. Funny how that happens. Shoutouts to Real Cute, good ref, carrying the tournament. Forgets to put on DT picks. No problem. MP settings data, yep. And I believe we're going to be getting underway, and this could be Brazil closing this out. This would be a funny map for them to close out the match on, I think. A Dada ZTS lull that's not actually mapped by Dada. And once again, somebody not loading in. Okay. Korkazaki, Flancel, Quickly Die, and Pain against X Kirito, Dada, Tusk, and Desperi. Hopefully we don't see teams kind of shitting the bed on this. United States had a really rough go of things in this map, missing at places they really shouldn't have. And we are learning quickly that even turning CPU cryo back up does not actually solve the DT client problem. I guess that's good to know. The breaks coming in from Dada Flancel Quickly Die. Okay, everyone from Brazil has broken at some point, but Pain and Korkazaki both breaking as well. This is not the point of the map where you break here, guys. You really can't afford to break here. This is like relatively straightforward combo. It's gonna be Brazil taking the lead. This is the longest of the DT picks by a pretty considerable margin. It's almost 4 minutes long. But you still, you want to keep the free combo, you know? And Brazil's just gonna try to maintain their lead, but X Kirito and Dada finding a couple breaks, as well as Tusk. Okay, why is everybody missing in this section? This section is not that hard, guys. I don't know. Okay, Brazil has full combo reset in like the quote-unquote easy part of the map. South Korea is just gonna take this one. They're doing to Brazil what China did to the United States. They're just preying on misses in the easier stuff. Oh, they freeway combo reset. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference though. There's literally no combo on Brazil at all. So, I mean, technically if Pain breaks, this could actually get kind of interesting, but it requires him to break. And there it is. Okay. We're in an interesting spot now. Brazil has combo advantage once again. X Kirito, Tusk, and Desperi all holding on to a kind of decent combo. And only Korkazaki and Quickly Die both have combo for South Korea, but it is over 100 behind those members of Brazil. There goes Desperi though. Let's see what happens in this next longer stream here. Oh, South Korea is going to hold it okay. If Korkazaki and Quickly Die can hold on, South Korea will be okay on this one, but it relies on those two players depending on what X Kirito and Tusk do for Brazil. Ooh. Oh, Tusk breaks! Korkazaki and Quickly Die both hold on, so I think South Korea is good. But it's going to be very close here in this ending. Scores only 15k apart. Korkazaki and Quickly Die must hold through the ending. Brazil's knocking on the door. But Quickly Die and Korkazaki do manage to hold on. combo lead in favor of South Korea, I believe, so they should be okay in this ending unless they get an absolute shit miss. It's going to be really close. But as long as South Korea doesn't just completely fall apart in the last couple combo, it should be okay for them. It's going to be awfully tight at this ending. No breaks anywhere, no breaks anywhere. Flancel and Pain fall apart! They just lost so much score that they lost the map by 10,000 points. That's it. It's over. Flancel and Pain just lost so much combo on that last stream. They lost so much score that it is over like that. Wow. Osaki and Quickly Die did their part, but Flancel and Pain just lost score at the end by missing on that last stream. South Korea, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you guys are going to Brazil. Brazil takes it 7-2. A very strong victory, a great performance, a solid showing from the Brazilian roster. And they are now in the top 4 here for WC 2020. They will face off against the United States tomorrow afternoon for a spot in the Grand Finals weekend. Man, that just, like, you thought South Korea was going to be in it for at least one more pick, and then all of a sudden they just weren't. Well, you hate to see it happen, but Brazil, they did what they needed to do. Can't fault them at all for that. South Korea just outclassed on the day. Brazil too strong on many different picks, many different types of maps. And I am very excited for the matchup against the United States tomorrow, because if Brazil keeps playing the way they did today and the United States plays the way they did last night, we're in for a banger of a match in that losers bracket round 7 fight. That is going to be tomorrow, 19 UTC in the afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It is gonna be a good one. Finally, the USA and Brazil get some nice times to play. We will see them tomorrow. Congratulations to Brazil for winning and advancing onward. GG, well played to South Korea. Thank you for being here. They will finish 5th, 6th alongside China. And really did exceed expectations, I think, for South Korea. A very good showing for them in this tournament. Brazil, better team on the day. They win. They advance onward. They'll face the United States tomorrow afternoon. For 4 Digit World Cup, I've been this one guy. Thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.